Hello. Now, have I just spent the past 2 hours making a short? Yes, I have. It's nearly 10 o'clock. It is Tuesday, which was traditionally one of my writing evenings, although I am not currently on my regular schedule. I have opened a story. That is as far as I got before I got sucked into making the video. So I do plan to submit this story soon-ish. There is a deadline coming up for an anthology call, and I have a story that I think fits the theme quite well. Now, I have already edited this once. I did make a video about that, and then I realised that I had the camera pointing the wrong way again the entire time. And I was just like too demotivated to re-record it. But anyway, so I had a first draft of this story, a full first draft. It's the first story that I wrote in full this year. And I have now done one round of editing. Now, in that first edit, I lost about 1,000 words. So it was nearly 9,000, and now it's under 8,000. And when my partner, as my trusted reader, read this story, one of the things that he said was he felt there was like quite a bit of sort of getting to the point, bits that he thought kind of didn't really add to the story, that he felt like if I needed to reduce it, these bits could go kind of at the early part of the story. And when he first said this, I was like, well, no, I think that's integral to the story. And then it's been, 3-4 months since I wrote it, since I read it as well. And when I went back into it late last week, I was like, oh yeah, there's plenty of deadwood in here, girl. There's lots of things that can go. So hence it was very easy to lose 1,000 words. And I think that really shows why you always need a bit of distance between your first draft and your sort of proper edits. Like I do usually do once I've done a first draft. I still always do a quick read, quick edit, kind of pick up on any errors, but it's never anything substantial because I'm like too attached to it still. I think you're not ready. You need that bit of distance to be able to reevaluate it with a kind of clearer head. So that's what I did last week. What I'm going to do now, because I've wasted 2 hours making a video, I am just going to start or do another edit. So this will be the second round of editing, and I'm not really sure what I'm actually looking for in this. I just want it to be like quite tight. I don't want it to be going all over the place. I need it to get to the point quite quickly. It is on the longer side for a short story, but that's okay for this particular call. But I think I need to do a bit more at the outset of the story to kind of set the scene, moving straight into what's happening. The setting and the context is important for this particular story, so I'm not going to skip it, but I think it could be condensed a little bit more. It might lose some more words. I'd also like to work a little bit on the dialogue in this story. When I did the edit last week, I was a bit unhappy with some of the dialogue. It felt a bit clunky, a bit scripted. Some of it didn't feel very natural. And that's probably because I don't often use that much dialogue in my stories, or I used to not use that much dialogue in my stories. So it's still something relatively new to me. A lot of stories that I wrote in the past were sort of the internal narratives and thoughts and so on of the characters, but not that much actual kind of interaction between characters. So because this is one of the first stories where I was doing that, I think that's why it feels a bit clunky, and I think the stories I've written since... What is it? Do you want to go out? Do you want to go out? Just say. I think the stories that I've written since, the dialogue has gotten... It's gotten easier to write, and it reads better as well. It sounds more natural. I've lost my slippers. My feet are cold. So that's what I'm going to do for now. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Look, guys, I'm going to level with you. The brain is not braining tonight. I have done about half an hour of editing. And even though I intended to just do a light edit, I've still been a bit all over the place. What I really want to do is send this story to my partner again and say, can you look for any mistakes, gaps, holes? But I know that should be my work. By the time I send it to him again, it should be in a better state than this. So what this means is it is time to step away from the computer. I realized that it was probably a mistake to start trying to work on this story already so late in the evening when I had already had a very distractible day and evening. I probably should have recognized the signs that it wasn't going to be a hugely useful session. But there you go. That is the reality of it, for me at least. I have days like this. So, years like this. So that's it. It's time for me to turn off the computer and might read a little bit in bed. And then I'm going to come back to this story later in the week and keep working on the editing to get it into its best state. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.